Hello, my small wonders. Are you ready for a story? I'm Tracy, and I have another classic book for you today. This one is called Sleeping Beauty by Miles Kelly, illustrated by Rosie Butcher. Shall we begin? Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, a beautiful baby girl was born to a king and queen. They had wanted a child for a long time, so they were very happy. The proud king soon began organizing a birthday celebration for his little princess. All the king's family and friends were invited to the party. They also asked the fairies to come, all apart from one who was known for being mean. On the big day, the guests arrived bringing lots of lovely gifts. Congratulations, Your Highness! Look, there are the fairies. And look how many gifts the little baby has. The fairies lined up to give the baby princess her presents. They came forward one by one, casting spells of kindness, beauty, and cleverness. Those all sound like wonderful gifts, don't you think? The last fairy was just about to give her gift when there was a loud noise in the courtyard. Crash! Oh no, what do you think it is? Just then, the mean fairy, who had not been invited, burst in angrily and said, "When the princess is 15, she shall touch a spindle and fall down dead." That sounds very painful. Do you know what a spindle is? Keep reading and you'll soon find out. The queen collapsed into the king's arms in shock. But then the last fairy stepped forward. "Wait," she said. "I can soften the curse a little," she said. "If the princess touches a spindle, she will not die. Instead, she will fall asleep for 100 years. Only a prince shall be able to wake her with a single kiss." 100 years? That's a very long time. The king gave out an order for all the spindles in the land to be destroyed. The princess grew up into a beautiful young lady. One day, while exploring the castle, she came across a door that she hadn't seen before. She opened it and found steps leading up to a mysterious tower. Ooh, what do you think's in the mysterious tower? The princess walked up the steps and into a dusty room. There she saw a woman, busy at a strange wheel with some thread. "Hello, what are you doing?" asked the princess. "I'm spinning, my dear," said the woman. "Whirl, whirl. Can you hear the spinning wheel?" The princess walked closer, and as she came to the spindle, she reached out to touch it. Oh no! "Ouch!" the princess cried as her finger touched the spindle. And while the wicked fairy, for it was she in disguise, vanished, the princess fell down asleep. At that moment, the king and queen fell asleep on their thrones. The horses slept in their stables, and the servants slipped into a slumber. That means they fell asleep too. Days, weeks, and then months went past. and a large hedge of thorns grew around the palace. Every year it became thicker until the palace was completely hidden. Exactly 100 years later, a prince was riding nearby. He could see the tips of a tower above the thorns. As he neared, the hedge parted, allowing him to pass through. So that must have been a magical hedge. The prince eventually arrived at the palace and saw that everyone was sleeping. He wondered why everything and everyone had been frozen in time. Luckily, no one grew old, did they? They all looked the same as they were before. Finally, he came to the room where the princess was sleeping. She was so beautiful that he stooped down to give her a kiss. At that moment, she opened her eyes and woke up. It was love at first sight. That must have been a shock for the princess. Everyone else in the castle also awoke. At last the princess was reunited with her mother and father. They were delighted. The evil fairy's spell had been broken. Look at everyone yawning. Ooh, that was a very long sleep they had. Sleeping Beauty and the prince were soon married, and they lived happily ever after. Hip hip hooray! Well, I know it took a long, long time, 100 years to be exact. But in the end, the prince and the princess found each other. And that's really what counts. Sometimes we have to wait a really long time and be very, very patient to get what we want or get what we deserve. But you know what, my small wonders? When you look back at what happened, you might realize that everything happens for a reason. Sleeping Beauty really got a big surprise when she woke up, didn't she? Do you like surprises? I love surprises. I think it was very unlucky that she had an evil spell cast on her, and she had to wait such a long time before she met her Prince Charming. But the ending was a happy one, wasn't it? Finding happiness is very important, so I'm so glad that Sleeping Beauty found hers. I hope you find something that makes you happy this week too. And I'll see you for our next story, my small wonders. Bye-bye.